Hello, and in this RNG Battles video, I'm talking about the 5% damage boost of the giant weapons, and if it is truly worth it to put on your weapon. I decided I'm going to make 4 parts to this, I think, maybe 5, for everything that's RPG, Demon, Bob, maybe 5 Leaf, I'm not sure if I want to do that one, and Jug. In this video, I want to cover the Jug Sword and if 5% damage to it is actually worth it, if it actually makes any significant difference to it. Some of the results might surprise you, some may not. It is a 5% damage boost, so let's just get right into it. If you know what the Jug Sword doesn't know what the Jug Sword does, it has 110 base damage with 165 crit damage. Meaning you can essentially one-shot anyone wearing the cardboard armor. Gives you an extra 10 armor, so you can one-shot this person. Anyone with cardboard armor is immediately dead. Obviously, not many people have this armor, but if they do, you can just obliterate them. I don't have the armor for some reason. Actually, let me get the armor real quick. Where's my luck? Just so I have it. Alright, I got it. Moving on from that, just to prove, it is 10 plus 100 health, so you do 110 insta kill them. Moving on to the crit, which is 165, you can one shot the lab coat, which is quite interesting. Now adding the 5% damage buff, you do 115.5 for your base damage, which doesn't make you one shot trash, so it's not much better for the base hit. Now going ahead and looking at the crit, it actually does 173.25. So you would build the one-shot overalls armor with the boost, so that is an upgrade from the lab coat of what you're able to one-shot. Now I know many people probably don't care about what they can one-shot down here because they're going to kill them anyway, yada yada. But if you're grinding, this could be very, very helpful. I definitely did this while I was grinding because I was using the giant bubble wand for the 5% damage, and it was very, very useful and did speed up my progress quite a bit. Another thing is when let's go to 2 hits. Now 2 hits with the base would be 210 damage, which can one-shot or two-shot the tin armor. And going over to the crit, which is 330, you can actually 3-shot. Or 220. You can 2-shot this. Going over to the crit, which is 165 with another 165. That would be 330, right? My math isn't mathing. I have the numbers. Yeah, 330. So you'd actually be able to 2-shot with a crit the Jester armor, which is kind of insane because that is probably one of the best noob armors most noobs will ever have. And you're just able to 2-crit it. Now hitting a 2-crit is not very likely. The overall stats is 32.5, but it feels like a 1% chance half the time. Sometimes you'll get lucky and you might hit 2, maybe you'll hit 1, maybe you'll hit 3. But I've gone matches where I don't even hit a crit, and it just doesn't feel like 30%. But you're able to 2-shot this. Now let's take a look at the base damage. You were able to one-shot the tin with the 5% boost. With 115, you can actually 2-shot the scrap armor, which is the next up armor, which is kind of crazy. You can 2-shot this with the base hit, not including a crit. Now if you were actually, I'm going to talk back here real quick of 110 plus 160 would actually be 275. Being able to do 275, you are able to 2-shot all the way up until the firefighter armor. Just want to get that out of the way. And for the normal is 280, so you can't one-shot Fall Knight if someone has Fall Knight. Probably not, but it would be nice for you to know. You can almost, like the Knight would be at like 1 HP, literally with like 1 health. If I want to do the math real quick, for 173.25 plus 115.5, yeah, it's 288.75. So you're really, really close to being able to one-shot the Knight, but you can't quite one-shot it. It'll be at literally 1.2 health, which is kind of funny. Yeah, you're not able to one-shot it. Don't try. even with the 5% buff. But you can, both of them can do the firefighter with 1 crit, 1 normal. But back to what I was saying. Moving on to moving off of double crits, you can, both of them can one-shot Jester. Neither of them can one-shot Jug, for probably obvious reasons, because they just don't have the high enough DPS. You can get close. It will do 346 with the 5% damage boost, but I would not get it fully. So, yeah. But moving on to 3 base hits. 3 base hits with the normal, it can kill you the Jester. It does a perfect amount of damage for it. You'll be able to kill the Jester. Won't be able to kill Jug, but 3 just normal hits. And now let's go with 3 normal hits for the 5% boost, which yet again you can 3 hit the Jester, 3 base hits. Now one of the biggest changes, let's do 2 hits and 1 crit for both. So if I look at the numbers again, or maybe I don't have the numbers actually. You can 3 hit with 1 crit. You can 3 hit anything. Well, that's actually a lie, I think. So if you do the base, let's do 110 times 2 is 220 plus the 165. You can actually 3-shot the blacksmith armor secret base with the base damage when 1 crit base. You can actually 3-shot the blacksmith. If you didn't know, it is 385, and you have 380 right here. And if we do 1 crit with the Doodle Henry, or 3 crit with the 5% damage buff, crap. It actually does 400 with 1 crit and 2 base for the 5% damage. You can actually 3-shot a Doodle Henry. Now, it doesn't look like a huge change, but that's the best armor in the game, and you can 3-shot it. Versus only being able to 3-shot the second best armor in the game. So in a 1v1, that would be absolutely huge for the 5% damage buff. Because without that, you are 4-hitting. I mean, that's with 1 crit. Now, if you double crit, you're guaranteed the 3 hit at either of these. It's kind of inevitable. If you double crit and 1 base, that's 440. With just the base, double crit. Yet again, you can insta kill this. Same thing with the double crit for the thing. It does 340 with 1 more hit. It'll 3 hit anything. Yet again. So you don't even like, double crit doesn't change anything from 2 base hits and 1 crit to 2 crits and 1 base hit. Even for the, unless it's like a Jester or Reaper or any of these, it can one-shot them. But being able to literally 3-shot a Doodle Henry, the best armor in the game, is with 1 crit and 2 base hits. That is insane. That is with the 5% damage boost. If you do not have that, you can only do, with the base, you can only do up to 385. But with the 5% damage boost, you get up to 404 point, what was it? 0.25. Overall, I would say for the Jug that the damage boost is really, really nice for grinding and even for 1v1s. Because even if you both have Jug, if one person's using a giant that gives 5% and one person isn't, I mean, as long as you hit 1 crit, you're going to be in the lead up 2 hits. Versus if the other person hits you with the base, they'll still need 3 more hits at most to kill you, and you only need at most 2. So it is a huge advantage over another person. Now this is taking into account that you both have Doodle Henry, which I assume if you have Jug, you have Doodle Henry because you're rich. I'm not gonna glaze it, you're just rich. But that's probably the overall video for this. And the answer to the question is the 5% worth it for Jug. It is for everything. The crits, the base damage. It allows you to do more damage than you would normally expect, especially with the Doodle Henry to Blacksmith. Like I said, you can 3-shot Blacksmith, 3-shot Doodle Henry. If I want to do the exact numbers, can you 2-shot the Blacksmith? No? Never mind, you can actually... Alright, another thing. You can two-shot... Or no, you can't. You can two-shot the Jug armor with the 5% damage boost. Because with one crit and one normal, you can one-shot the Jug. No, you can't. What was it? What was it? Not one-shot the Jug. I know I talked about the Firefighter. Fall Knight. You can one-shot the Fall Knight. And then... Yeah, alright, I've talked about everything. I did hope you enjoyed this video. That was the 5% damage boost. That is really nice. Overall, do most people need to use it? In a 1v1, if Doodle Henry's, yes. For grinding, I would recommend it, but it's not needed because you're still going to kill them anyway, but it would be faster. And it would be really nice to have that extra damage. Overall, Jugs is really powerful, and if you do have it, consider yourself lucky. And the 5% damage boost is a huge boost if you want to review everything I talked about in this video. I will be making 4 parts because I'm not making a 50-minute video on all the items. It's a lot of calculations, and I don't want to make a 50-minute video. It just takes a lot of time, and I could just make 5 different videos that you could look at. Hope you enjoyed this video, and peace out.